All right, it's day 3 of CDL school. I was not planning on doing a. I'll go ahead and shut this to get rid of some glare. Sorry. I was not planning on doing a video. What is that? Oh, that's the phone itself it's glaring off of now. I was like, what other monitor do I have in front of me? My phone. Um, I wasn't planning on doing a video because I just have so much stuff to do. Um, but I am just like tired, and I just need to take a break from watching videos. Um, so I thought, I just make a quick video here to take a break from the monotony and boredom of watching videos of basically somebody doing like an extremely in-depth pre-trip inspection. It's like an hour or more of videos on just somebody doing a pre-trip inspection, and it's a whole bunch of videos explaining the pre-trip, and then there's another set of videos of actually doing the pre-trip. I don't know how long all the videos are. I think we watched an hour of them in class today, and then we were told to watch the rest of them when we got home. It's, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours of pre-trip videos. And then we watched a whole bunch of videos in class today. So, good news. If you've been watching any of my videos for the last, I don't know how long, the last 3 or 4 videos, I've been stressing hard about my drug test. Well, I haven't been doing any cocaine, so that's pretty nice. I called up Access Medical at around 10 a.m. today, and I asked them, what's going on? Like, I've been calling every day since Sunday, and you guys just keep telling me to wait. And the first person I talked to said it shouldn't have taken this long. So they transferred me to someone at the. I'm going to actually lay down, and we'll see how the video comes out with me laying down. Okay. They transferred me to someone at the actual test center that I went to, and like that kind of irritated me because no one had done that before. So I'd just been talking with like generic customer care people that didn't know crap this whole time. So they transferred me to someone there, and that person basically tried to tell me just keep waiting and we'll see if it comes in. And I told her, I spoke with the instructor, Gary, when I got there in the morning and told him, I gave him a status update. I've been checking in with him every day on it. And I told him that, like, if I don't have it by lunchtime, then I'm thinking about going down to the place that everybody else did their drug tests and just paying for another drug test just so I can guarantee that I'll have it by tomorrow. And he told me to ask them to actually contact the test center. So that's what I did. After they transferred me to the Northwest Expressway location where I did the drug test, and that person told me to just basically wait, I asked her if she could call the test center and get a status update from them to make sure there's not an issue and get an ETA. She said that she didn't have the capability of doing that, but she could call me back. She said she had to talk with her manager and get her manager to call the test center, and she could call me back in like 20 minutes. And I said, all right, cool. I said, I'm in class right now. I'm on a break, so I might not be able to answer the phone in 20 minutes. And she said, well, is it all right if I leave a voicemail? I said, yeah, that's fine. And so she called back in like 5 minutes maybe. I was still on break, so I answered the phone. And she basically said that I should have it in the mail, in my email, within a couple of minutes. 10 minutes tops. And I told her, thanks, awesome, good to go, appreciate it. And I checked my email and it was already there by the time I got off the call. So I don't know how long the test results had basically been sitting somewhere and they had not emailed it to me. I think that maybe their process got messed up because I submitted it as like a personal drug test instead of a company, and it really confused them. Every time I talked to them, they were like, "Why are you contacting us to get the results? We don't send the results to you." And I had to sit there and explain to them that like I submitted this drug test as a personal thing and it's being sent to me, not a company. And they were like, "Really? Huh. Well, then you should get the results." They'll get there when they get there. And maybe because I had it set up that way, and there wasn't like, because usually when a company sends you down to do a drug test, they have some kind of little printout that you hand to them. And since I didn't have that printout to send it to a company with all the instructions, maybe they didn't know, like maybe their process broke down on where to send. I have no idea. They didn't like tell me where they screwed up at. But I got the drug test. I forwarded the email with I think it was in a PDF, some kind of an email attachment. I checked it before I forwarded it. And all the results were negative. I'm not a crackhead. So I got that going for me. I forwarded it to Gary, the instructor assigned to my class. And I also copied Jennifer. I double checked. Her name is Jennifer, so like I don't feel bad about calling her Jennifer this whole time. Like I was right. But I forwarded it to both of them, and I think everything's good with that. I told Gary I forwarded it to him. I said, "Did you get the email?" And he's like, "Yeah, I got it. We're all good." So no more surprises for the moment. There's nothing that I'm waiting on that's holding me back right now, other than learning the pre-trip and getting all the assignments done and everything. Today we did, one of many things we did today, was like this 5-hour defensive driving course. I think it was the Smith system. They didn't refer to it as the Smith system. I've done the Smith system before. The Smith system I did before was last time I was driving truck. We actually drove around in a car, and we had certain phrases, and we had to look at people that were coming onto the roadway and like acknowledge whether or not they made eye contact with us, or whether I forgot what we called people, but it was like there were little phrases for like somebody who wasn't looking at us and seeing that we were, somebody who wasn't making eye contact with us had a name. And you just basically had to drive down the road and call out everything, and you had to be in the left lane because it's the lane of least resistance, and that's not always the case. But maybe, I don't know if it's the Smith system is stupid or my instructor that was a moron, but he was like, "Well, it's the lane of least resistance, you need to get over there." And I'm like, it's bumper to bumper and people being real aggressive over there. I've got like 200 yards of nothing in front of me in the right hand lane. "Well, it's the lane of least resistance, you need to get over there." Like he was one of those, just, that's what it says, you got to do it. And he threatened to basically fail me. So I had to run somebody off the damn road to get over, to force my way over into the left-hand lane. I didn't get marked off for that, but if I would have stayed in the right-hand lane where there wasn't, I had plenty of everything, then he would have marked me off for that. Anyway, I think it was the Smith system that we did, even though they didn't refer to it as the Smith system. But we got a certificate, and the instructor told us that Oklahoma state law requires that if you take any kind of defensive driving course, I don't know what the exact phraseology he used, but Oklahoma state law requires that insurance companies give you a discount. It doesn't say how much of a discount, but it says a discount for 36 months whenever you take some type of whatever course, defensive driving course or driving course of any kind. I don't know. Now my arm's starting to get tired. I might set up again. I need to get a selfie stick. Or just stop making videos. There we go. That'll solve the problem. So they gave us that certificate. We only had a class of 4. Maximum class size is 5. One of our people, Adam, who just moved down from Utah, I don't know how many months ago, I would guess 2 or 3 months ago. He said he sold his house in Utah, moved down here. He was young, I would guess in his early 20s, somewhere between 21 and 25. And he moved down from Salt Lake City, Utah. He didn't show up, well, he was late Monday, but pretty much everybody except me was late Monday. Tuesday, he was almost everybody was late again Tuesday except me, but Adam was late by probably 15, 20 minutes. Everybody else is only a couple minutes late. They might have been just standing outside waiting for 8 o'clock. I don't know. I didn't like standing outside because people smoke out there and stuff. But today, we thought he was just late again. And, it rolled up around, like, I don't know, 10 a.m. on our first break. Or it might have been lunch. Actually, I think, it was lunch. We talked about it a couple of times throughout the day. Like, I wonder what happened to him. I wonder if he's going to stay in our class or get rolled to another class. I hope he's okay, that kind of stuff. And then at lunch, Keith asked our instructor, Gary, if Adam was going to be in that day. And he said no, he dropped out. He decided to move back to Salt Lake City, Utah. So we're like, okay. He told us that there's somebody else that's been sick that's on week 2. We're in week 1. Somebody in the week 2 class has been out sick for I don't know how many days, at least 1 or 2 days. And he told us that person is probably going to get rolled into our class because with the days that person missed, it will put them basically at the same point that we're at in class. And he said that person will probably join our class on Friday or Monday. So it should mean we get extra drive time on Thursday and maybe extra drive time on Friday. This is kind of cool. What all else did we do today? We have a ton of assignments to do, which I've given up on reading the damn book. It's just each chapter is so far has been approximately 30 pages. And, I don't have a whole lot. I mean, we're doing, I'm getting there at 7 a.m. Today we left right at 5. So 7 to 5, is that 9 hours? Say 7 to noon is 5 hours. And then 5 more hours. That's 10 hours. So 8 to 5 is 9 hours. So 8 to 5. Okay, so that's an 8-hour shift with a 1-hour lunch. So yeah, basically, I'm getting to class at somewhere real early in the morning. And so I'm doing like 10-hour days in the class. And then I'm getting home with a bunch of homework. So I've only got like 3 or 4 hours till I kind of need to go to sleep after class. And I'm hoping that I can get a whole lot knocked out this weekend. I basically need to get all the assignments done except the pre-trip so I can just focus on the pre-trip. We already started the pre-trip today. So I'm going to try switching hands. We started doing the pre-trip today. Well, not doing it. He gave us an assignment today to watch all those pre-trip videos that explains the pre-trip, what you're doing, and it's him going through the entire pre-trip, explaining every little step. Yeah, it's so, like, I don't know, probably 2 or 3 hours of those videos do we have to watch. And we have 8 total assignments. We've done 3 of them so far. I've got 5 more assignments. And I have to memorize the pre-trip. The pre-trip is, I don't know how many points their pre-trip inspection is. The last pre-trip inspection that I did when I first got my CDL was only about 110 to 113 point inspection. I think this one's more than that. I think it's quite a bit more than that. I think it's like 150 or more. I'll have to count it out. They don't have this one numbered. They just have it in sections. There's like, I don't know how many sections, and there's probably 5 to 10 items in each section. But yeah, I need to get all the assignments knocked out. I'm not going to bother reading this stuff anymore. What I did on the last one was I just went through the questions and I answered the ones that I knew, and the ones I didn't, I just skimmed through the chapter real quick to find the answer. It's stuff that's kind of good to know, but I just have so much stuff that I'm trying to learn right now that I can't. I have to pick and choose what I spend my time on. I think a lot of this is just stuff that they're required to have us look at, but I really need to just focus on getting my CDL because I just have such limited time like to do it. It's just like a total of 4 weeks, and it's a lot of stuff to learn in 4 weeks. Just the pre-trip inspection is a lot to learn, and we're going to be spending a little over 3 weeks doing the pre-trip, and just the pre-trip 3 weeks is not easy. But yeah, right now I'm not going to try to memorize anything tonight. I might maybe try to memorize like the first 4 items or something really easy like that. I think I'm just gonna. What I've been doing is trying to do my assignments and stuff when I get there in the morning because I'm just too tired at night. Um, I think I'll just try to memorize like the first section of like 10 items when I get there in the morning because I should have about an hour that I'm there before anybody else gets there. Well, not tomorrow morning because tomorrow morning instead of 8 we're starting at 7:30, and I'm getting there at like 6:45, 6:50, and we're actually supposed to start doing our logbooks and stuff at like 7:20. So I'll have 30 minutes or so to um, to try to memorize that section tomorrow morning. But I've got 2 more videos to watch tonight, and I think that's about all I'm going to do tonight because I am just like, I don't know, I'm spent and I'm tired, and memory retention goes just, you can't retain anything when you're really like fatigued. So I'm not going to waste time trying to memorize stuff right now. Tomorrow, I don't know if we even have any class time tomorrow. We're going in the truck tomorrow, and crap, I've got to go and try to find my rubber suit. We're supposed to have rain basically for the next week or something, and I asked him today, like, he told us to dress appropriate for being outside because we're going to be standing outside a lot. I think he said when somebody's doing backing maneuvers, or like the way he made it sound was like there's just going to be the instructor and one person in the truck and everybody else is going to be standing outside a lot. And I checked with him today and I was like, so like Keith's over here telling me it's going to be raining all the time. He's over here dooming and glooming me, playing weatherman, and Keith's like, no, I'm not saying weather. I'm like, man, you told me it's gonna like cats and dogs and stuff. But I was like how, like, what do you mean? Like, I have a rubber suit and I have Gore-Tex boots that are waterproof. Are we gonna be just like standing out in the elements all day long? I need to bring in my rubber suit while we're doing this driving stuff. And he was like, yeah, definitely bring that stuff in. I didn't know for sure if he was joking, but he was being serious. But he did say that, like, if it's sprinkling, yeah, we'll probably be outside. But if it just gets pouring, then he'll have everybody come inside or get in the truck or something. He's not going to have us standing outside if it's, like, really bad weather. But we're going to be doing pre-trips outside, and I don't know what all else. we're going to be out in the elements. So I got to go find my rubber suit. I completely forgot about that. I don't want to be running around in the morning and get delayed in the morning and have to deal with worse traffic. Man, traffic is so bad at 6:30. You know what I was surprised by today is we left at 4 the first 2 days. I had a Charlie horse, sorry. And I was surprised at how bad traffic was at 4. Because I have left my old job at 4 o'clock, and 4 o'clock traffic is actually not bad at all when I'm leaving my old job. But that's going up Hefner Parkway. The 40 Hefner Parkway junction is a complete cluster. Even at 4 o'clock, it's basically stop and go. You can spend anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes stopped at that on-ramp onto Hefner Parkway. And it's because there is one lane that merges into Hefner Parkway. But there are 3 total lanes that break down into one lane. And what everybody does is there are tons and tons and tons of people that are in the lane that you're supposed to be in. But there are quite a few people, not the majority, but a bunch of people that use the merge lanes and just ride them out to the very end and then force their way over into the one continuing lane. And it causes the one continuing lane to constantly have to stop for all this merging traffic. And people get real aggressive and tempers flare, and it's bad drivers and bad design. It's just really frustrating. People are just so selfish and aggressive on driving. It's just I don't understand it. Anyway, I'm not going to get on another rant about how bad drivers on the road are. But that's about it, man. I'm like so tired that I can't like focus. I scanned in the defensive driving thing, and I sent an email to my insurance broker and asked them to apply the discount to my car insurance. And I think I mentioned that I emailed them last week about selling my motorcycle and asked them to cancel my insurance on that. That was one of the big reasons I went ahead and sold the motorcycle, because I was thinking about keeping it because it's paid off, but I'm paying $1,000 a year insurance on it. It's like $85 a month, and it keeps going up by a considerable amount. When I first got the motorcycle, it was like $56 a month, and now it's $85 a month. That's a huge, what was that, 4 years? Motorcycle's like 4, maybe 5 years old. I still haven't cashed the check. I downloaded my bank's online thing where you can do check deposits with their app, but the check is too big. I can only deposit like up to a certain amount, so I'm gonna have to. I guess Saturday is the only time that that the bank will be open when I'm not doing something, so I'll have to go in there on Saturday to cash the check. I don't want to wait too long, because then I might get into some weird situation where the check's over 30 days old or something, and like it starts causing drama. I think I'm going to have to splice this stinking video. I'm going to have to edit it and splice 2 videos together, because like once it goes over about 21 minutes, it hits a 4 gig mark. And that zoom thing that I saw on this, I don't think it's zoom. I think that's the megapixels. It defaults to 1.4, and whenever I bring it down to 1, it does zoom out, but the picture quality changes dramatically, and I can turn it all the way up to 2.1, which I think is the megapixel limit on this camera. So I've been turning it down to 1 megapixel. I did a very, like the beginning of a video a few days ago, leaving it on the default 1.4, not even up to 2.1, and it was like so detailed. You could see every little freckle on my face. It was, man, that was crazy high quality. Like if I want to get like insane high quality videos, I'll jack this thing up to 2.1 megapixels, but that's just probably too much ugly for YouTube to handle. We better keep it blurry. Josh commented on a video. That was pretty awesome. I still only got one thumbs up. My expectations for Josh weren't very high to start with. They're not getting any higher. I've had so much stuff going on at CDL school. Josh has been messaging me about what's been happening with work since I left, and man, it sounds like there's a lot of drama going on over there. They've been implementing some new stuff that I was fighting against. I was trying to not get implemented, and it has just like been really, really bad. So seems like they're having fun without me. But honestly, my interest in that job, I was kind of interested in like what people said about me, like the day after I left. But really, since then, I don't really care. I think Josh told me there were a couple of remarks made, but nothing big. You know, the same kind of stupid stuff that I kind of expected. Trucking is looked down on, and you know, a comment of like, why would he go into trucking? Like, that doesn't make any sense. But I don't really care about that stuff. I got a lot of things to do right now. So if I don't have to splice two videos together, then this should be pretty easy to upload. But if I have to splice a couple videos together, then it may take like an hour. Well, that'll give me something to do while I'm watching these videos. And I'm wanting to keep rambling right now, just because I'm not looking forward to watching these videos. But once I finish these videos, I'm just gonna lay down and go to sleep. Actually, no, I need to stay awake for a couple hours, so I'm probably gonna watch something. I'm not gonna try to memorize anything, but I need to stay up till about 9. I made the mistake of going to sleep early a couple nights ago, and I woke up after a couple hours and couldn't go back to sleep, and I ended up like sleeping for a couple hours before work, and it was just the whole sleep schedule thing has been a little bit annoying. But anyway, 28 minutes. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna try to keep putting these videos out, but well, I think Josh is the only person that watches these things anyway. Josh, if I don't put a video out for a couple of days, it's probably because I've just got too much crap to do, and I'm probably studying for my pre-trip or something. But just about the CDL University, there so far everything's been pretty awesome. I have nothing bad to say about them. They seem incredibly knowledgeable. They have a very structured program. Everyone's pretty happy. I did overhear this morning a couple of people failed their CDL test. So I don't know what's going on with that. So there's a little they're trying to keep the drama behind the scenes and not bring it out, and I don't think they want to scare people. So they didn't want to tell us about the dropout in our class. They didn't want to tell us about. I mean, they don't try to hide anything. If we ask about it, there was no pushback on being told, but they were not forthcoming like voluntarily with that information. But as soon as Keith asked, about Adam, the instructor just told us nonchalantly. So I'm sure if we ask about the failures, they'll tell us straight up what's going on. But we have other things that we're focusing on right now. And people in the class, the other two remaining people in my class are starting to realize how tough this is, because uh, Keith said, this is the same crap that I hear everywhere, is that, you know, oh, if you want to get a $60,000, $80,000 a year job, just go get your CDL. Anybody can get a CDL. Anybody can get into trucking. That hasn't been my experience. It's not something that anyone can do. There's like, out of my last time I went to CDL school, I think only 4 out of the 10 people ended up getting CDLs. And out of my class that I'm in right now, we've already had one person drop out of the class, and the other 2 people in my class are struggling pretty bad. So, I mean, I hope they start catching on. It's really hard to tell like how much they're struggling, because I've already gone through it before. So this is like a refresher for me. It's not like I'm learning something new. So I don't know how far behind they actually are or how much they're struggling. It's hard to put it into context. So maybe they're right on track. It's only like day 3. But we'll see who all ends up passing. We're all taking our tests the same day. So maybe, well, I might not find out, because if I get my test, if I'm the first one to take the test, I'm just going to bail. I'm not going to come back down to CDL school and ask, like, well, how did so-and-so do? I'm going to be putting in apps and taking off. But, all right, I'll go ahead and post this video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for thumbsing up if you did, and commenting, or, giving it a thumbs down, whatever you did. I appreciate it all. Awesome. Have a good night.